Okay, it's the 24th of August, 2023, and the reason why I'm doing this video is documentation of I'm going to, even though every cell of my body does not want to do this, like I am literally overwhelmed, praying to God for strength to be able to keep going. Just tired. Reeling. I was just having a moment just before I was reeling into a blackness of overwhelmness. Like, because everywhere I look, it doesn't matter if it's inside or outside the house. There's so much that needs to be done, including like just, oh no, sorry, the dishes have been done, but I've got most of the washing's been folded because I do op shop duties. I do a lot of washing for the op shop, so there's an extra amount of washing. So most of the washing has been folded, the dishes have been done, and my bed's being made. So apart from those three things, everywhere I look, and the front cab of the ute is cleaned out. So the actual inside where I drive and the bit where the dogs are, and the passenger seat is cleared out nice. The back of the ute is full of stuff because I helped a lady move house the other day, and the whole church and I helped this lady move house, and I came in for the rubbish load. So the back of my ute is full of her rubbish that I've got to take to the tip. But we've got these really nice sunny days, and the ground is still wet, a bit wet, but it's drying up quick. So now is the perfect time for weeding. I've been doing a lot of weeding. This ground was just full of weeds the other day, and all up here was just, you couldn't see that path that was covered in dirt from the dogs dug over. They just made a mess of that area. It was actually awful what they've done to this area. Awful what they've done. Anyways, I neatened all that up, and that was full of weeds. This whole area around here was full of weeds all the way around, just absolutely full of weeds. The whole ground's been full of weeds because we've had really nice sunny days, and at least twice a week we've had rain. 3 times a week we've had rain. So nice sunny days, lots of water. Yep. Anyways, the point of the story is, it doesn't matter what I do. Can you see the toys on the line? Clothesline? That's the type of stuff I wash for the op shop. So when we get donations, we clean everything up. And it's pretty cute, isn't it? A washing line full of stuffed toys. There was another load up there as well. But yeah, today, like, I weeded in there, that was up to here. And I'm going to start putting this fencing in because I really just want to get this chook pen up and running. I really love the idea of just coming out in the morning and, basically probably we'll be coming up this pathway here. We go walk into the chook pen. There'll probably be a gate here where I am now, or maybe a bit behind. But I've got to put fencing all behind. I've got these big palings up the back, big, huge, I'll show it to you in another video, like really tall, really wide wire fence panels. So all up the back there, and then I've got to go up the top so that the chooks will be safe. And so, yeah, the sooner I do that, the sooner I can actually get the chookies in, because the chook pen is pretty much ready to go. I just need to put some chicken wire, some mesh into the window just there, so that they don't get harassed by mozzies and flies when they're inside. And I'm going to oil it all down, but that's basically the cutest little cubby house ever. There's going to be the most cutest. I'm insulating the inside, so I need to get some staples for the staple gun. But yeah, it's going to be a really, really, really cute little chook pen. And then once I get this area fenced off, I'll be able to get some chooks. And up here is where the garden shed is going, up this corner. And one of the reasons why I'm feeling so overwhelmed is God told me I was getting support provided, and I've got these people that turn up And I think they're going to be support people. I don't want to ever over-utilise anyone or got to wait until they're ready. And some people say they are, but then it's obviously me that's got to create a working bee. A lot of that's to do with energy, I guess. I've got to maybe put on a barbecue and just organise a set date and whatever and get some people organised. But things like that garden shed, I need help with that. I can't do that on my own. I really would have rather not have done this chook pen on my own either, wherever it's gone there. I would rather have had help putting these fences up. I've got all this cement. I've got to get some more cement. I just feel like... So anyways, I was out here the other day and I was weeding. And I was thinking, well, weeding is obviously something I can do on my own. And that makes the place just a little bit nicer for a working bee. But yeah, this is really overwhelming, this property. I was talking to a friend about it and she said, just because we have the blessing of a home and we're not homeless, doesn't mean we can't feel overwhelmed by the responsibility of managing that home. And so it's really important. I've been talking to a lot of different people about this topic, and I did a YouTube live on it the other day about, we're not complaining, we are overwhelmed. Like, that's legitimate reality, and we're not complaining about our blessings, because there's so many people that if you say, there's so much to do on my property, they go, oh, at least you have somewhere to live. And it's like, oh, F off, what? Yeah, oh, they got to live. Yeah, I'm aware of that. But when someone's homeless, they wake up in the morning and the day is theirs and they can do what they want, they can go where they want, not necessarily. See, there's pros and cons to everything, okay? So when you have a big property, a big block of land and an old house, what you got to do is you got to prioritise throughout the week. You got to go, there's so much to do. There's, when you're doing it on your own as well as Alvin, you just got into my face, sorry. When you're on your own and you're trying to run a big property on your own, you literally have to work out what's priority, what can I fit in my budget, what can wait. Like, I've got pest control, termite pest control that's overdue. So there could be termites in the house right now, and the house is wooden, and that could, the house could be rotting. That's $230. Got to come up with the money for that, right? I've got Western Power telling me I've got to cut these trees back. Okay, that's another $200-300 to get someone to cut the trees. So that's money, okay? I've got a car here with bald tyres and it's going to be out of rego soon and it needs a service. So we're looking at $1,500-2,000 there. I need the car for work. So obviously I'm going to prioritise the car over getting termite treatment done and getting the trees out the front near the Western Power, the electricity lines cut. This is just a tiny, minute element of what I have to do. In winter, I've got to prepare for the flooding because that we get a lot of rain, we get deluges. The gutters need replacing. In summer, I need retic organised, and retic's not organised. I need to somehow get the retic up and running for the summer, or the garden's just going to die. And one of the bottom lines for me is I just also want to have some fun. I would actually really like to have some fun. And I would love to go out dancing this weekend. I would love to go out dancing this weekend. Now, for me to go out dancing, I have to budget petrol money to drive down to the nearest city. And I have to leave the dogs home alone for a whole night. And it gets really cold up here at night. It's really hot in the days at the moment, but it gets really cold at night. So I have to somehow, justify my need and want to dance. But it's like everything I do is basically for the dogs and to keep this house running and to keep the land running, and in God's toil. I go, okay, God, you got a plan. This is all for a reason, and the bottom line is, as a human being, this is all too much just for me, just for one person, okay? And God has basically said the support team is coming in. I do have some support, like I've got a friend's son coming to chop wood on Friday. I pay him. There are people that if I said I'm really struggling, like I'm in a black pool of reeling, like I'm really into a black abyss, they would actually really, especially if I told the church that, they would organise a working bee for me. And I am aware that if I told people just how overwhelmed I really am, I would. There's my cute cat. There's basically, I don't know if you can see him. Basically, if I told people the reeling black pit and that I fall into it and it's really hard to get out of it, they would actually step up and there would be a working bee and I could get help. And I've got to come up with the tech screws and get organised and there's people that would even help me out with organising it. Like they would get me the tech screws, they'd probably organise the barbecue. So I've got the support team there, and I do have to remember that. And when I was talking about the homeless people before, about that I'd have to pre-plan, pre-organise, pre-budget, I'm not saying it's awful. Sorry, not awful to be homeless. I'm just saying there's pros and cons to every situation. So a homeless person, for example, someone who's living in their car, can drive around their car and they could sleep on the beach one night, get up in the morning, drive somewhere else the following day, and they've just got this world of adventure and opportunity and possibility in front of them. Pros and cons to everything. So I have the pro of having a set bed that I sleep in every night, and it's warm, and I've got many pros. I also have a lot of cons. Like my cons almost equal my pros. Okay, the responsibility of maintaining, and also I never signed up to do this on my own. I never signed up to move to an old house on a big block of land in an old country town and take on 2 dogs and deal with this all on my own with many debilitating injuries. I did not sign up for this. This is not what I signed up for, yet it is my reality. And my other option is to live in the ute with the like adopt the dogs out and live in the ute and just drive around for whatever and just let this place fall into a heap. Just let the dogs get adopted to a beautiful family that will look after them, and the cat to a beautiful family that will look after him, and just let this place fall into a heap. It'll just sit here for I don't know how long. I don't know. It's not in a place that it could be sold. There's too much that needs to be done to it to get it to. It could be sold as is, but it would be sold way undervalue. But that is an option. It can be sold undervalue as is with the quagmire of a mess that it's all in. Like just about everything needs to be done. Like it's a lot's been done to it since I've moved in a year and a half ago, but because a lot of things like the bathroom isn't finished, the kitchen isn't finished, and both those, I don't know, I guess we're looking at another 10,000-15,000, but 6,000 to 10,000 being spent, or say minimum $6,000 being spent, right, to get the bathroom and the kitchen finished. The house will then be increased by another 40, 50 or 60,000. So it seems ludicrous and right now as it is, it would be undervalued by 20, 30, 40 or 50,000. So, in those things, you just think it's not logical to sell it as is. Like, where is the logic behind that? There is none. And where is the logic behind having a home and making yourself homeless because it's all too overwhelming? Just go bit by bit by bit by bit by bit by bit by little small bit, and open up to the blessings where they are, and not get too overwhelmed. But the truth of the reality is I am every single day overwhelmed by this property and this house and this lifestyle and this life that I have somehow found myself in. And it was from free will choice, believing I was listening to God's direction of where to be and what to do. And I must keep that faith that I am up here for a reason. I'm in Northern for a reason. My AWOL husband and I bought this property for a reason. I chose to listen to God's direction to marry the man who's my AWOL husband, and all of the experiences that go when you trust someone and you open up to a new way of being, and then there's all these. There's just all these scenarios that occur you just never imagined in 100 years could even happen. And then, I'll leave it at that. Look, I just needed to share that I'm really overwhelmed. The that reeling pit of blackness keeps trying to engulf me. And so I thought, there's so much to do. Like, there's the hugest list of what needs to be done. And I thought, you know what? I need to get this chook pen up and running. I actually need to get this chook pen happening, because this chook pen, if I start getting those that protection in, and I start bringing the chooks, and I'm bringing new life in, I've got the eggs. I come out in the morning and I come and get the eggs, and the whole dream. You know, my husband and I, when we were engaged, when we were fiancés, lying in our house down in our unit, down in his unit down in Perth, right? He named it. The chooks are all named. It was such a dream. The chooks are all named, and 2 years down the track, still don't have the chook pen up and running. Still don't even have the chook pen up and running. Like, one thing that we could have done together to actually really work towards making the dream real, you know, one small thing, like actually making the chook pen an actual reality. So the chook pens that had already been named could become a reality, could actually come into our life and actually bless us with their eggs every day. So I've decided that this is really healthy. This is good for my mental health, because the chooks are new life, and I've already got the commitment of the 2 dogs and the cat and the garden, and you know, obviously I'm committed. I'm not going to run from this, you know, like, God doesn't want me to run, and I know that it's foolish to run. You know, it'd be the prodigal son. He just runs from his father with the inheritance, you know, because he thinks he wants to do it his way, and he thinks his way is better. But God brought me here for a reason, so I've got to really make this work, everyone. So this is what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of hours. Putting my wherever it went, the chook pen. I can't think of where I've gone. Yeah, the chook pen, which is over there. Oh, look at Ollie. They're not. The other thing is, my cats my animals love me so much. He's just rubbing his little legs all over me. My animals really love me, and they're family, and I don't want to adopt them out just to live in a ute, just to drive around. Just be able to go dancing here, there, and go for a swim in the ocean every now and again. Like that, I'm not like going to let these animals go just so I can go swimming more often, because I love the ocean. I'd really love to be by the ocean. I love dancing. I really miss dancing, and I really miss swimming, and I really miss just meeting up with friends and having a coffee. And that was my life in Mount Lawley. I had a really good life down in Perth. I had a really good, happy, fulfilling life. I was, except for the lack of companion, like intimate relationship companion, everything else in my life was actually working. And yeah, I always had the opportunity of always meeting that amazing partner down there. And I'm not saying I don't now up here in Northern Country Town either. Like, I'm not saying all of my life opportunities being taken away. I just miss being able to swim in the ocean. I miss being able to dance on a regular basis. I just really miss those things, and I trust God's journey for me. I really do. I trust that God brought me to Northern for a reason, and brought me this house for a reason, and brought me the challenge of dealing with this property for a reason. And eventually it will be a therapy space, okay? Eventually it will be an area that I can make financial prosperity. And once I got the bathroom finished enough that's private, and I can actually rent out a couple of rooms, and I can actually start, you know, I could even hire out a space out the back for a caravan. But first of all, the communal bathroom needs to be usable, and at the moment the bathroom isn't private. You can't actually have privacy, and then there's no shower. So there's a reason for everything taking a time. There is actually a reason that everything has been so hard and so slow, and it's in full trust. It's just in full trust that I keep believing, knowing, full faith in this journey. And then days like today, where I feel this deep sense of despair, and like I'm falling into a pit, I felt my head spiraling into a pit of blackness because of how overwhelmed I was. I thought, you know what, I will do a video, I will share it, I will share this process, because eventually one day when this place looks amazing, these videos are testimony that it didn't come easy. It was such an arduous, dedicated process of pure surrender and pure trust and pure faith. Okay, this is me just honouring God all the way, honouring God. All right, lots of love. God bless. Okay, and I really hope this video benefits someone else who's reeling into that pit of blackness. Just, I know it's hard when there's too much happening and you don't know where to start and it's all too overwhelming. I know, trust me, I know. I actually really get that feeling. All right. And if you need guidance to work out what's the most logical process or first step, feel no hesitation to email me and I'll give you some guidance, because what I do is I go, what is it that actually will benefit me the most mentally? And I pray to God, like, what is it out of all of this that needs to be done? What do you want me to do, God? And what will possibly be taken care of? Like, the Western Power, for example, can cut the trees and give me a huge bill, and I part pay that bill off. Do you know what I mean? So they can deal with that. The retic, you know, if I lose most of my plants this summer because I haven't got the retic organised, so be it. The plants that are self-sufficient and established enough will survive. Like, if I can't get the retic done before summer, so be it, okay? So be it. The chooks and the eggs, this is actually something that, you know, this is actually going to really enhance my life. So where's it gone again? Chook pen fence is getting started today. And with body aches, like with all my body aching, I worked really hard. I'm a gardener for money. I work my shoulders, my wrists, my legs really hard. I'm always really tired the day after a big day of work. So this is not coming easy, this digging the ground. Okay, it's not an easy process for me. It's not easy. Okay, it's really hard. I've got to work with a lot of physical pain to do this. I would have really appreciated help with it, but I have asked a few people to help and it just hasn't worked out. I haven't insisted on working bead through the church. I know if I did, they would, because like yesterday when I helped that lady with her house move and a heap of us from the church did, I know they would do the same for me. So it's not like I have no one and no support. I guess I'm just like, how much can I really do on my own before I really have to get the working bee? I'll see how I go. And then if I start, I bring the palings down, the fence palings, and I dig the holes. I'll see how I go. And then if I feel like I really need the help, because I need, you know, to get structural poles in there, cement all in place, maybe I will be able to do it on my own. The shed, I know I can't. The shed, I know I need help, because you need two people to hold up the walls and one person to tech screw and stuff. But anyways, we'll leave it at that, hey? I don't know. Purpose of this message, pray to God for clarity of what's the most important for our mental health, and don't go for where you're being pressured. Obviously I've got Western Power pressuring me to cut the trees away from the lines. They've got the work equipment, they've got the saws, they've got the people, you know, they've got the ability to cut those trees back, you know what I mean? They can pressure me all they like. It's not possible for me. I can't cut those trees on my own, and I don't have the money to pay someone else to do it. So if Western Power does it and they give me a bill, so be it. You know what I mean? So be it. So be it. So they can pressure me all they like. And as far as the retic goes, I know the right person will come to me, and they'll have an affordable mates rates. And I've got a feeling one of those people will probably be my boss, who does retic for other jobs, and just got to fit in a time because he's so busy. So you know, God is bringing me support. I do have support. It's not like I'd like it to look. I can admit to you right now, I'd love it if it was I'd love it if it was like family or partner, or, you know what I mean? Things like that. I mean, I would love it if it was my partner, my team. I would love it if it was my husband, you know, actually bothering to be here to help me work all this out, and actually he can do a little bit. His little bit actually means a big difference. Even making a cup of tea, believe it or not. That small thing of, would you like a cup of tea, love, you know, and wow, it's looking really great. And just the moral company, I guess, the company. So it's not just me doing this all on my own with the two dogs and the cat, because, you know, I do get really very, very, very lonely. I'm just living a life, just me and three animals. And a lot of people go, well, that's heaven, and it is. And there's a lot of people that would say it's more peaceful than sharing a life with a human being. And there is something about physical cuddling with a human being, and love making with your partner, and the kisses and the conversations, like. And I've been talking to a lot of different people about this, about not to knock back our pain just because what is working so well, and all our pros and all our positives and all our blessings, it doesn't mean we deny our pain. Okay, it doesn't mean we go, but I am missing this, I wish I had this, but at the same time we are feeling completely grateful for all that's working well. I feel completely grateful for everything. It doesn't dismiss or negate the pain. Okay, it really doesn't. And I need to really acknowledge it, and so do you. Okay, we're not to dismiss our pain, our hardship, just because we've got so many blessings. We deserve our blessings. We worked hard for our blessings. I got to where I am now from a lot of hard work, and now I'm at that next level of whatever it is my soul needs to learn, whatever it is that God needs to train me to do. It's not easy though. It's not easy. I need to acknowledge it's not easy. Anyways, let's leave it at that. Adios. God bless.